choose the careless, creativity's the way. In this crazy world, they're here to stay.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Asylum with Harley and Lisa. I'm your host, Harley, as always, joined by the beautiful Lisa.
Thank you. Hello.
How is everybody doing? Oh, we got three people. Not sure who they are. Hi, say hello.
Hi.
So, tonight our episode is called New Year, New Fear, because New Year's Eve is right around the corner and we're about to be in a new year. And we've got some interesting man to May. Yes, you gotta. Okay, we've got some interesting. Well, of course, we want them to say hello so we know who they are. Mm. And we do have a giveaway. It's a mystery giveaway because we're not sure what it is yet.
See, I don't even know. I didn't even know that.
I forgot all about it till just now, so we have a mystery giveaway. Hi, Aaron. Okay, so I'm going to read you a couple of the unbelievable articles that we found for New Year, New Fear. Okay, number one. It's the title is The Dog Who Sees Spirits. It says, my dog has a nasty habit of scratching the door in the middle of the night. One evening, she wouldn't stop scratching the door for any reason. After calling her 5 times, I threw a pillow towards the door to make her stop. That's when she barked. From right beside me, she'd been next to me the whole time.
What?
So the dog was beside her the whole time, and she just didn't. The spirit was beside her the whole time.
Ooh, that's so deliciously creepy. I love it.
Hmm. Okay, this one's called Shadow Figures Descending from the Ceiling. When I was little, every night when the lights were turned off, I went to sleep. Two dark forms would descend from the ceiling near the doorway into my room. They walked quietly up to my bed, and one stood on each side of my headboard looking at me. I would cover my head with the blanket until one day I had the courage to tell my mother. She put a lamp in my room and told me to pray and ask them to leave. I sleep with the lamp on all night to this day. I I think I probably would sleep with the light on too, if
Yeah.
that was.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
I
totally.
know when we lived in Oklahoma in this trailer, and my son was really little, they slept in the room with us one night, and then I woke up and saw this really dark black figure at the end of the bed, and I woke up and I started screaming because I didn't know what was there.
Yeah.
I thought maybe someone had come into the house and while we were sleeping, but it was a black figure. And then when we turned on the light, it was gone. And like it was a big long hallway. I would not walk down that hallway in the dark ever again. I would make my husband go to the other end and turn that light on before I would walk down that hallway.
Wow.
Creepy, creepy. Okay.
All right. I
This
have
one's
a lot of
called,
stories too, but there's too many to go into right now.
well, when we took our wedding pictures, and if you go back to one of our Mod Squad horror shows, I showed the picture. There is a face in the window, like of the door of my grandparents' house. There's two faces in the door, and there was nobody in that kitchen. There was nobody anywhere near for their face to be reflecting on the door. It was
Hmm.
just me, my husband, and my mother outside. But there was a boy and an older woman's face in the door.
Ooh, uninvited guests.
Yeah. They were just wanting to say hello. That's freaky. Had similar experience as a kid. It happens a lot. Like when um my kids were little, we lived in an apartment complex, and there was this guy who you'd see walk from my daughter's room to the bathroom every day at the same time. And then every day at the same time, the TV would come on in her room.
Wow.
So we've had a lot of experiences like those phantom smells that you get sometimes that you don't know where they come from. Those are spirits trying to say hello. Because my grandpa passed away a while ago, not long after my son was born. And my grandpa used to smell like vodka and cigarettes. And everyone, like a lot of the time, will get the smell of vodka and cigarettes for no reason. And there's no one that smokes in this house.
Mm.
So we'll just randomly start smelling cigarette smoke.
Mm.
And I'm like, hi, Grandpa.
Oh.
Yeah. And like, you know that they're there watching you. Like my husband had an experience once where they saw this big black ghost dog and it started chasing them.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's called Crest by a Spirit. My father died in 1996 when I was 10 years old and my brother was 12. We slept in a bunk bed and my mother had the upper bunk. Oh, my brother had the upper bunk while
Oh.
I had the lower one. One night I woke up in the middle of the night with someone slowly caressing my head. I thought it was my brother and ignored it. When I went back to sleep, the feeling returned. I got out of bed to confront my brother, but he was snoring quietly. I went back to bed and the caressing began a third time. I've never prayed so hard in my life. I prayed until sunrise the next morning. Hi,
Mm.
Eric. Well, I still don't feel too great, but it is what it is. Yeah, it is sweet. He's watching over me.
Yeah.
I was a grandpa's girl, and then my daughter became a grandpa's girl, and like nobody could touch that little girl when she was little. If we would correct her and get onto her, he would just tear into us about it because that was his little girl.
Mm.
Okay. Lisa, do you got some creepy stories of your own you want to share?
Really, there's so many. There really is. Uh, I will say that here, now at home, um, I do get some weird things in my bed where I can feel somebody sitting, sit down on my bed. Like you can feel the weight of them sit down on my side of the bed, and I've got my arm over my husband, so I know it's not him. That happens a lot. I
Aaron,
mean,
I think Daily Dank is sick today. That's what he told me this morning. That's why he didn't do shows because he was really sick.
oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I know he wasn't feeling good the other day when he did a show.
Well, he said it's really cold up there, and he told me that 60 degrees is cold. And I laughed and said, it's not cold. I said, I wear shorts in 60 degrees.
Right?
I was like, it's 37 here. That's cold. Oh, it's crazy. Let's see. The Faceless Figure. When I was 15 years old, I stayed up late watching a TV marathon. Hey, this kind of sounds like your story. With my sister in the middle of the night after my sister had fallen asleep. I saw the
Right?
nearby computer mouse starting to move by itself. I called my mother into the room and she said it was probably a rat that pulled on the cable from underneath the desk and I should go to sleep. Suddenly, I swear I saw a black figure with no face or human features behind the bookcase. It looked in my direction and pointed. I nearly shat myself with fear. I remember saying, "Who are you? I do not want you in my house. Nobody wants you here. Get out of here." The thing left, and I actually heard it hit a cabinet before it went through it. The cabinet began to sway, and the door slammed and made a loud bang.
Wow. He was just there trying to use a computer. Rude.
Exactly. He was trying to look up that porn, probably.
Oh, probably. He
Oh,
misses it. He misses it.
I've always have something that watches over me. One story, I was driving down the highway coming back from Florida. Got poked on my left side and got chills. I moved over to the different lane. And 1 mile up the highway, there was a bad accident. That's creepy. Okay, we're gonna switch to the next.
Creepy, but
I
cool.
got some. Yeah, I got some videos for you guys. Don't you like our little switch screen?
I do. I miss looking around it though, because I think that's funny.
Okay, well, this one is got 2 or 3 horrifying stories that happened on New Year's Eve.
Last year, for New Year's, my girlfriend and I, as well as some of our mutual friends, took a trip to Orlando. New Year's Eve was on a Friday, so it was a perfect little weekend getaway trip. We didn't have any specific plans, other than we rented an Airbnb and just planned on hitting up a bunch of bars on New Year's Eve night. We all went to Disney World during the day. For most of us in our group, it was our first time going. Nighttime came, and it was starting to get close to time to go out. We were late getting back to the Airbnb from Disney World. We all had to change clothes before hitting the bars, so we were kinda rushed. We called an Uber and headed for a spot downtown. Most of the night after that was a complete blur. I think all of us ended up drinking a little too much.
Of
From the
course,
moment we stepped
everybody
foot into the
overdrinks on New
bars
Year's.
till the moment we were about to leave, I pretty much remember nothing. Anyways, my memory becomes clearer when we were outside waiting for an Uber to take us back to the Airbnb. I realized for the first time that my pockets felt light. I had a sick feeling come over me when I realized my phone was missing. I went with some friends back into the most recent bar that I was in to look for it, but it was pointless. There was no way I was finding it with there being as many people in there as there was. I was still intoxicated, so I wasn't thinking clearly, but I had to accept defeat. Tracking it on Find My iPhone didn't occur to me at the time, so I just went back to the Airbnb with all my friends. Now, in a pretty bad mood considering I'd have to replace my phone. We got back to the Airbnb. I stayed downstairs for a while, and my girlfriend headed upstairs to our room. Not even 10 seconds later, she let out a loud, high-pitched scream from our room. The rest of our friends, including me, ran up the stairs and into the room. My girlfriend was sitting on the bed, pointing toward the bathroom. She struggled to get out the words, "There's someone in the bathroom." The door was shut, and I decided I'd open the door and confront the person. Plus, I felt good considering we had strength in numbers with a total of 6 of us there. I easily picked the lock on the bathroom door and flung it open. The bathroom was empty, but the window in there was wide open. It was just big enough for someone to crawl through. There was
That's
even an
creepy.
overhang on the house that would be low enough for someone to jump onto and off the side of the house. I shut the window and locked it. The rest of us locked the doors, and I tried to calm my girlfriend down. After about 2 hours, we finally managed to get some sleep. And I mean that lightly, considering we only slept maybe an hour and a half at most. I woke up the next morning and saw my phone sitting on the kitchen table. Right
Wow.
next to it was the key to the Airbnb. Whoever found my phone the previous night must have went through my phone and found out where we were staying. All the booking information was on my phone, and so was the combination to the key lock box on the front door of the Airbnb. It was a crazy experience, but we were lucky that no one was hurt.
Wow.
Right?
That, I'd be freaked out.
Right?
3 years ago, on New Year's Eve, I went to a party at the local college in my town. I didn't actually go to school there, but I knew the people hosting the party, so I got invited, even though I wasn't a student. The party was basically on campus of the said university. I have to admit, it was a pretty insane party. There were tons of people there, most of which I didn't know, but I did know a few from high school, including the party host. There was obviously a lot of alcohol and various other drugs involved. I had a couple beers, but was planning on staying pretty sober, considering I had to drive home afterwards. It was so crowded that some rooms in the house were literally so packed with people that you couldn't even move. I was having a good time reconnecting with old friends, and even meeting some new ones. I eventually made eye contact with one guy in particular across the room. He was sitting in the corner on the couch over there. He was staring pretty intently at me. His stare definitely gave me a weird vibe. We made eye contact for probably like 5 seconds until I nodded my head as a way of saying what's up. He didn't respond to that, and he just kept staring at me. I eventually looked away. His stare was making me feel uncomfortable, to say the least. There was music blasting in one of the upstairs rooms of the house. I spent most of the night up there, just having a good time. I looked over in the direction of that kid every so often, and he was always looking at me. He never moved either. He just sat on the couch, basically by himself. I found the host of the party at one point, and asked him if he knew the kid, and he said he didn't. He didn't seem too concerned though. It seemed like there were quite a few random people in there. It was starting to get late, and I was about ready to head back home. I was completely sober by this point, so driving wasn't an issue. I left the house and started walking back toward my car. It was probably around 3 a.m. at this point. I had to park a little further up the street, since there were still a ton of cars parked in front of his house. I was walking by a row of bushes along the road when I heard a rustling noise coming from in there. I took a quick side glance in there and noticed that there was a person crouched down in there, seemingly trying to hide. I looked a little closer. The streetlights made it easier to see. It was that same kid from the party that I had seen staring at me multiple times. He looked like he was getting ready to jump out and attack me. I started jogging down the street, trying to make it to my car. I took a quick glance behind me, and I saw him. He was standing on the sidewalk, right by the bushes where I had just been. He wasn't chasing me though, he was just watching me. I got to my car and just went home. All in all, it was a super fun party. I don't know what the deal was with that kid, but I'm just glad I happened to notice him hiding in there, or else I have no clue what might have happened.
That's creepy.
That is very creepy. Very creepy.
Well, we reloaded it.
New Year's Eve is a holiday and occasion many people look forward to and use as motivation to pursue goals they usually wouldn't other times of the year. For many others, it's a day despised and resented. The following are 7 creepy things that happened on New Year's Eve, creating for some unsettling starts to New Year's. On New Year's Eve of 1920, the Drake Hotel in Chicago celebrated its opening night, which started with elegance but ended in tragedy. The Drake was expected to be one of the city's most beautiful and elegant hotels, but it ended in tragedy because it was the night a woman referred to as the Woman in Red ended her life. On this New Year's Eve day, a man and his fiancée, who was wearing a red silk gown, attended the gala held in the Drake's Gold Coast room. The man stepped away and did not return for over an hour, so his fiancée went looking for him. When she found him, He was accompanied with another woman whom he was showing attention to. The devastated woman climbed the roof and jumped to her death. Since then, guests at the Drake have reported seeing her apparition in the Gold Coast Room, the Palm Court, and on the 10th floor, as well as the roof. Yeah. People also still to this day allegedly report hearing a woman's cries on the 10th floor and on the roof. Some believe her soul is condemned to replay her final night, attempting to find peace with the final tragic chapter of her life. Workers and guests have also on numerous occasions reported getting a creepy, uncomfortable feeling in the ballroom. On New Year's Eve in 2013, a man named Joseph Scott was hosting a house party among his close friends. The party was going normal until a few different friends started asking Joe about the sounds coming from the ceiling. The party was being held in the living room, and the attic was right above the living room. Joseph went to the bedroom which had the attic door inside of it and pulled the attic door down. He did this without telling anyone so as to not make any of the guests uncomfortable, but after multiple comments about the noise, he couldn't just ignore it and have that lingering in his head. Upon checking the attic, Joseph heard a loud, distinct cracking sound from the other side, behind a wooden wall. He thought there might have been a raccoon up there, so he walked across the wooden boards of the attic, hearing his intoxicated friends down below in the living room laughing, asking, "What the hell is that noise?" When he got to the back section of the attic, which according to the layout was directly on top of the front door area of the living room, he saw somebody's hands wrapped around the top of a box, but their body wasn't visible. Joseph screamed as he was startled, but then he quickly assumed it was one of his friends. He went closer, and somebody who he didn't know popped their head out from behind the box. A middle-aged, angry-looking man. Joseph screamed bloody murder as he ran out of the attic yelling for his friends. He and his guy friends waited by the attic door guarding it, while they waited for the police. Police were able to remove the man from the attic with ease. He was unarmed. The man didn't know anyone at the party, and he admitted to simply walking in during the party. He claimed he meant no wrongdoing. However, it's pretty likely he was planning on robbing the place when everyone was gone, or possibly worse. Similarly, with this one we have another party crashing type of story, as yet another uninvited guest somehow finds themselves in a random party. Only with this one, the guests seem to have materialized out of nowhere and joined the storyteller's New Year's Eve party. There was an older woman dressed in all white who was seen by most of the partygoers. All of the doors and windows were locked, and no one admitted to letting the old woman into the house. Being in a polite and festive mood, the hostess did not ask the lady in white to leave, but according to multiple party guests, the woman reported that she was lost and couldn't find the party she was actually heading to. Upon leaving the party, she dropped 2 scarves on the doorstep. To this day, nobody that was there at that party knows how she got in. To add to this mystery, the writer adds that her cousin saw the same woman in his dreams a few nights later. No one ever saw her again.
Now that's creepy.
This one was recounted by a young woman and her boyfriend. The two were cleaning up the boyfriend's place, getting ready to have people over for New Year's Eve. As the couple was cleaning, they kept losing things and finding them back in the same place a few minutes later. The couple thought that they were just imagining it at first, or that the other was moving the objects without them seeing, but it kept happening over and over, and every time they needed something, it would disappear. Eventually, company starts to arrive. Their friend Carson gets there first, and the 3 sit down and watch TV. That's when the boyfriend made a statement, and in return, an unknown man's voice said, "Right." The 3 of them looked around to see if the boyfriend's roommates had returned, but no one was there. Later, when the roommates did return, they told the couple and Carson that they had been hearing the same thing since the night of the recently passed eclipse. A while later, the woman went to the bathroom, and as she was washing her hands, she heard a loud cough right behind her ear. All of the hairs on her neck stood up as she ran out of there. At first, no one believed her, but when the rest of their company arrived, and they too eventually said that they heard a cough in the bathroom as well, it's not hard to tell why everyone believed her after that. The woman heard a cough in the bathroom one more time the next morning, but didn't hear anything again for a whole year, leading her to believe the strange occurrences only happen around the holidays. The Monte Vista Hotel in Flagstaff, Arizona opened on New Year's Day of 1927, and during the 1940s and 50s was a popular spot for Hollywood guests, and more than 100 Western movies were filmed nearby. Some of the guests of the hotel included Bing Crosby, Jane Russell, Gary Cooper, Spencer Tracy, and many others. There are many stories and legends of ghosts in this hotel, one of the more notable ones being the Phantom Bellboy, who knocks on doors and then vanishes. There have been dozens of guests over the years reporting that somebody would knock on their doors, then when
Oh,
they
it's
opened them,
Mr.
nobody would
Nightmare.
be there. Alongside the bellboy is often what is believed to be a woman who has been seen multiple times outside of the suite that author Zane Grey stayed in, which, as it turns out, is a room in which 2 prostitutes had been murdered long ago. But there's more with this hotel. Multiple guests who have stayed in the room that actor Gary Cooper stayed in have reported hearing a man coughing and clearing his throat, pacing back and forth. Many guests have reported feeling unnerved by the distinct feeling that someone is watching them in that room. One of the last more notable paranormal phenomenons that have been reported in the hotel comes from the saloon. People believe a former bank robber haunts the saloon, as again, multiple guests have heard a voice and sounds from people who weren't there, and report an uneasy feeling of being watched. Ellen Roberts, a hotel desk clerk, reported that in 1970, 3 men robbed a nearby bank and to celebrate, stopped in our lounge for a drink, even though one of the men had been shot during their escape. While having his drink, the wounded man died, and some believe that he is the spirit that's haunting this area of the building. The hotel remains open to this day, and many people visit in hopes of encountering some paranormal activity. On New Year's Eve 1997, 2 friends, Olivia Hope and Ben Smart, were celebrating New Year's
These
Eve and
ones are
ran into
really
trouble
creepy.
after their rental yacht that they planned to sleep on was overcrowded. They located a water taxi still operating and got on. Sharing the ride with them was a man who learned that they had nowhere to sleep and offered to let them stay on his boat. As this was their only real option,
Oh
they
no.
accepted, and the taxi took them to the man's yacht. They climbed aboard the stranger's boat between 4 and 5 a.m. After that, the 2 friends were never seen again. The police conducted an investigation, and despite a number of witnesses describing the same man and the same
Would you climb
2-masted
on a
sailing
stranger's
boat, they
boat?
focused on a man with a smaller boat named Scott Watson. Where this crime case went from there has been a source of controversy ever since. Police are confident they got the man responsible for Ben and Olivia's disappearances and likely murders, but even 2 decades later, the
We might
mystery
have to
around this
do a
case
show about
remains.
them and look this up, because that's kind of
On New Year's
interesting.
Eve of 2017, a group of friends had went on a camping trip to the Acadia National Park in Maine. They had been planning a New Year's camping trip for a long time, and it finally came to fruition. The 6 friends were separated into 3 different tents. They set up camp on a riverbank and set up their portable barbecue and campfire. The group had also come prepared with a bunch of fireworks to shoot off at midnight. For a majority of their time at the campsite, the friends had music blasting on their portable speaker and were drinking tequila. As the group got more intoxicated and louder, one of the friends told everyone to quiet down for a second and lowered the music because he thought he could hear something in the woods. While the group was quiet, they heard it. It was this long and slow whistling sound that would echo every few seconds. One suggested it was an animal, one suggested it was someone whistling, and one suggested it was a literal whistle being blown by someone. When they were quiet for long enough, the sound stopped. Eventually the group resumed playing their music and drinking their drinks. When midnight came, the group began to shoot off their fireworks one at a time. After maybe 4 or 5 fireworks exploding, a blood-curdling scream came from the woods. The screams continued on and on. The group stopped shooting their fireworks and all jumped into their tents to hide, completely freaked out. The screaming stopped, but 3 of the 6 said they heard
Yeah.
footsteps approach the campsite, and through the tent walls, reflecting through the glow of the campfire, they could see a very tall, hunched-over figure, ruling out the possibility of some small animal making the screaming sounds. It didn't stay long, though. It disappeared along with the footsteps back into the woods. The group was so terrified they all communicated through their tents, not wanting to leave. They were simply too scared to even take the time to pack up and leave. They waited it out until the sun began to rise. Then the group packed up and they were on their way. Not the most desirable experience to start a new year.
I wonder what screamed. Like,
I don't
was it
know.
somebody needing help? Somebody being murdered?
Like, would you honestly go investigate to see what was screaming?
No. But
Yeah, me
did they
neither.
report it out to the police? Because I would have
Probably
reported.
not. Okay, this one's called My Possessed Friend. One time, my husband and I had some friends over to eat pizza. One of my friends, who was always been very mystical, began to feel ill. in the kitchen and excused herself to our bedroom. Once he was in the bedroom, he started to rock back and forth and giggled in a voice that made my hair stand on end. I ran out of the room shivering with fear. My husband went in to check on him and soon returned saying our friend wanted to talk to me. I went in the bedroom where my friend walked up to me with his eyes rolled back in his head, made a few little grunts and said, "This is my house." Then he knelt and kissed my feet, rubbed his hand on my belly, and motioned as though he was nursing a baby. When he knelt again, the phone rang loudly, and he came out of the trance. About a month later, I found out I was pregnant, which may explain the gesture he made. My father-in-law had died 8 months before this incident, which might explain that this is my house. To this day, it still terrifies me.
And she just stood there while this dude did these things.
I don't think I would stand there. I think I would
Yeah,
turn around and
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have walked. I would have left the room just seeing his eyes rolled
Right,
back in his head.
right. Bizarre, very bizarre.
Beaten up by a ghost. 4 years ago, I woke up in the middle of the night and there was a woman in a black dress standing beside my bed. When I sat up, she started to accuse me of having done things that I hadn't done, saying I had apparently stolen someone from her. I didn't know what was going on. What was going through my head to argue with a ghost, but eventually I decided to ignore her and go back to sleep. She then pulled me out of my bed while attacking my body. She suddenly disappeared, and I was so afraid I couldn't go back to sleep. The whole thing felt so real that I was actually sore the next day, especially around my ankles, where she had grabbed me and pulled me from the bed.
Get out of the house.
Don't get back in the bed. Really? Why are
Right,
you going to get back in the bed?
right.
The woman's accusing you of stealing someone from her, and you're going to get back in the bed?
Not only that, like she's physically able to assault you.
She, she
Mm,
excuse me.
mm. We should write a book. What to do if this happens? Run.
Get out of the house.
Duh. Run.
Like she got back in the bed. What if it came back? Are you serious? Why would you? Why? I don't understand people.
Mm.
Nope. Oh, here's a good one. The dead ballerina. When I was a child, I walked into my bedroom and saw what looked like a Japanese girl in black ballet tights with orange stripes. She was stopped in front of the mirror, looking sideways at me. When I looked again, the girl disappeared and I ran from my room, making my mother come back with me. Years later, she confessed to me that she had been frightened that day because before I was born, she was given a ballet had given ballet classes in the bedroom. The black and orange uniform had belonged to a girl that had been a student of hers who had passed away.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd be moving out of the house. Exactly, Aaron. Moving out of the house. I would leave everything and just start over.
Right.
Because spirit's attached to things. So how do you know she's not going to attach to something that you take to your new house with you?
That's true.
I'd leave it. I'd sell everything and burn the house.
Yeah.
Oh,
Harley said
the
arson.
hand that rocks What
Arson.
was that?
What's the answer? Arson.
Exactly. Exactly. The hand that rocks the nightstand. I had a nightstand next to my bed, and one night as I was laying in bed, the nightstand just started swaying as if someone was rocking it. The nightstand was extremely heavy. There wasn't any breeze, and I wasn't leaning on it. I sprinted out of the room, and this day nobody can explain what happened. This one
Crazy.
has a creepy picture with it. I wish I could share my screen with you guys to see this creepy picture. Let's see if I could share screen. Yes, I can. Okay, look at this creepy picture. Let's
We
see if
need to interview some of our viewers here because they've got some pretty creepy stuff going on in the chat over here.
yeah, we should definitely have them on the
Tell your ghost story night.
exactly.
Eric might
Have
have
them
to have
all
a
on.
few episodes.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to have them.
um, Apparently, Harley's handling a situation.
Sorry, the child said the air conditioner was hot at 74. I
Oh,
said, "You mean the heater?"
mm, well,
Okay.
hmm
Well, I'm back now.
I know.
Yeah, I was having technical difficulties last night on our gaming live.
Uh,
Eric was giving me hell. Oh, there it
um,
goes. But Eric was giving me hell about it.
well, Eric's always nice to me.
Oh, look, my cat wants to be in the show.
Nice.
You're not going to get attention. No, he was being mean to me.
Eric was
No
being,
audio. Do I have audio?
or the cat was being.
Eric was being mean.
Oh.
It's not dial up. I have audio. Lisa, you can hear me, right?
I could totally hear you.
No, I'm not pulling a last night, Eric. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to boot you from the chat, Eric.
Oh no, don't. I like
It's not
it.
DSL.
AOL.
Oh my gosh. They were giving me a hard time last night because I was having technical difficulties.
Well,
Okay. Yeah, we're going to have to invite them on the show.
yeah, for sure.
So get with the
And
message me, Eric.
my
And
friend
Aaron, if
Eileen
you're on Facebook,
was
look
telling
me
a
up. And
story. Ricky Hendricks was telling a story when we did the murders and margaritas, and I was thinking it then. Wow, we ought to tell like our viewers stories because they're really
yeah,
interesting.
guys, message me on Facebook and we will definitely get you on the show so you guys could tell your stories because we'd love to hear it because we're full of creepy things. We like creepy things.
We do like creepy things. We really do.
You know, if a cat or a dog won't go into a certain area and they
Mm-hmm.
keep looking at that same area, there's a spirit there. I have 5
Mm-hmm.
cats for that reason right there
Mm.
because
Well,
they
they'd be
keep spirits
paralyzed
away.
if they lived at my house. We definitely have a spirit who turns on and off the TV all the time. And my husband and I, were like, "Did you turn on the bedroom TV?" And or did you turn on the living room TV? And one night we both woke up. We just sat like just bolted up in bed, and the living room TV was on. Now, the only time I have an issue with it is when they turn the TV on and they're watching The View, because I'm like, I don't support them. Like, it's just a bunch of cranky women sitting around bitching it and talking politics, and I'm like,
This is Fitz Darcy.
hi, Fitz.
Oh, and there comes Molly.
No, we don't support this show. You can watch whatever else the hell you want, but no, we're not watching The View. We don't watch The View around here. But yeah, they turn on the TV, turn on and off the TV all the time.
Like, I've got pictures. We used to have like a little camera in our kitchen, just to watch when the kids were getting into crap in the kitchen. And there was my husband heard little kids in the like laughing and giggling coming from the kitchen. And then he told me to look at the camera and see what was there. And then I look at the camera and it showed like this figure go across the screen and then you could see a face outline in the camera.
Ooh, was that on record?
Yeah. I showed it on one of the horror shows.
Oh my gosh, I want to see. I want to see.
Yeah, it was weird.
My husband and I, we see stuff moving all the time.
We do in this house too.
But we're never able to catch it. And then my daughter,
Are you trying to be on camera?
She definitely has a spirit who follows her everywhere she goes.
Yeah, my grandparents follow me everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Well, Amanda, your dog is a little special. We already know that.
He might not be slow. There might be something there.
No, Diablo is a little special.
I'm gonna try to stick up for the dog. That's funny.
Snapping fingers. See why I said he's a little slow?
Oh, you should record some of that stuff. That's funny. I love that stuff.
We have a cat here that chases after balls like it's a dog, and she'll pick it up and bring it to you, and you'll chase it again.
Cute. That's cute.
Eric, you're special, but not like Barney says. We all love you here, Eric. Okay. One day I'm going to do an episode and have my kids on the show with us.
Yeah. I thought about when you're coming to Dallas, seeing if my youngest son would join us. He's a hoot. He's crazy.
I'm tripping. My smart TV turned on, off. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Somebody's trying to say, I'm here too. I'm here too.
Exactly. No, our PlayStation and Xbox does that. Like, it'll go on, and then it'll turn right off. Like, someone wants to play it, and then they decide not to. What are you? Okay. Who is messaging me?
Oh, Eric. Kevin's mama. That's funny.
Yes, I have a cat that chases balls. She's a weird cat.
You can't make this stuff up. Well, you could, but why when it's reality?
That stuff can happen because of mild power surges. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I think that is it for our show today, guys. And we will not.
It, Eric.
Yeah, we thought it was a spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not picking on Kevin. You're picking on me. That's the difference.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And Harley don't look anything alike. That's how you can tell the difference.
And yes, Kevin's fun to pick on. I'm not, because I'm nice. I'm Harley. Everybody loves me.
Everybody does.
Yes, it's and it's the electric gremlins in the lines.
Oh, Amanda said, what happened to the giveaway? That is true. I forgot all about it.
Oh, okay, yeah, guys. Thanks for reminding us, Amanda. Okay, we're gonna pick a number between 1 and 20. We're waiting for numbers between 1 and 20.
Eric, are you saying that Kevin has breasts? Because I'm going to stick up for the man and say that's just messed up.
Okay, guys, it is not rigged, so I don't want to hear it. Lisa, go to the private chat and see what number I picked.
I don't know how. How do I do that?
Down at the bottom,
Okay.
it says private chat.
It don't say private chat. Hold on. Let me get out of the big screen. I'm guessing Amanda won.
Yeah, the number was 17.
Amanda, damn it.
Yeah, I didn't. That's not rigged. Eric, I don't want to hear it.
There it is, private chat. I'm about to confirm, people.
And I sent this before the show.
Yeah. It's true. See, and that's why you can't do these kind
I
of
didn't
things.
message my friend. And last night, there's no picking it because as cheating because it already picks the name.
And see,
Eric
that's why
thinks that
when
I'm
my
cheating.
kids were little, and I used to say, okay, to settle a dispute or to get a reward, or who gets to go first or who gets to sit in the front seat. So I used to do this, pick a number from 1 to 10. And I had to stop doing that because my daughter always won because she always guessed what was in my head. And the boys accused me of cheating. So I
Well,
had
our
to
next episode, we're going to have the little thing where you do the hashtag prize and
good.
it'll set it up to where we don't have to do it. And it wasn't rigged, Eric.
So there.
So, Okay, guys. Um, Eric. Oh my gosh. So all those times that you won back to back to back on the Mod Squad, we cheated. It was rigged, so you could win.
He said,
Because
yeah.
I know before I became part of the Mod Squad, you were winning a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that was rigged too. Oh, Eric, we love you. You know that. Okay, guys. Thank you for tuning in. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And we will be back, not this Sunday because it's New Year's Eve. We'll probably be asleep at the ball drop. Come
Probably.
join the live. There will be a giveaway. You can watch it go to my friend and only. You're so mean, Eric. You're so mean. Oh my gosh. No, I do have to say Eric is a really, really nice guy, and I absolutely love him to death.
I know, me
And
too.
he has been there for us, and we've been there for him. And it's all love. So, guys, thanks for joining. Go follow us on YouTube because we need more subscribers. If you're not following us on YouTube, go follow us on YouTube. We're about to start doing shorts, and who knows, before long, we may be in costume.
Woo! I'm so glad that you brought that up.
And here, next month, me and Lisa will be doing a No one should ever go. We will be doing a live together in person in Dallas and recording some of our awesome adventures where we go because we've got some awesome things planned.
We do. We really, really do.
Oh, my child would like to say hi to you guys. Okay, I guess he doesn't. He wants to be
Okay.
shy now.
He thinks it, and that's okay.
Okay. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. You know what to do. You joined into the Asylum with Harley and Lisa. Once you join, you can never leave. Thanks for
for hanging
watching.
out with us. We appreciate it.
We loved this. This was an awesome show.
Yeah, I liked it. We're just chilling, just hanging with friends.
Yes, I will tell your nephew you said hi. And Eric, I will tell him you said hello too. I actually have 3 boys here, Eric. And then I have a 20-year-old daughter who lives on her own. Yes, I got 2 coffee
I
pots
have a
now because
sexy
Eric ordered me a
husband.
coffee pot and Amanda gave me a coffee pot too today. No, Amanda's not my sister, really. She's okay. We're going to end. I love all you guys. Thanks for tuning in because I don't want anyone to get upset.